Palace have just pulled us apart, and it's nothing too difficult that they've done. You can't go in here and press McAllister, neither can Kamada, because they've got to look after these two. This is too much room. This cannot happen. Right, hello everybody, welcome back to the Golden Sky. I'm Tom. Today it is the tactics video for Liverpool's 3-1 win over Crystal Palace from the weekend. Apologies for the delay on this one. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into the clips from that game. Alright then guys, so starting off in this one, we did struggle a little bit at the start of the game with Crystal Palace in general, as we have throughout the season. They were just getting through our midfield a little bit too much, but overall, I think this performance was a positive one. And I think we can all agree, in general, the football over the last couple of games, maybe minus PSG here and there, but understandable. Did you see PSG's game against Bayern Munich the other day? My God, losing 4-0, we've conceded less than Bayern did in one game. So, with two legs, we conceded less, that's all I'll say. I think we can all agree the football has been a little bit better, which is a positive, obviously. And in this game, it wasn't too bad either. So we lined up in a 4-3-3. We had clearly two number 8s and a number 10, which was Wirtz. We had a right winger, we had a left winger, and we had a striker. And that has worked well for us. Back to basics, a bit of balance in the team. We've tried loads of different formations. I think getting Isak back as the main striker, having a left winger and a right winger, Salah's form picking up, Gakpo not being too bad versus the number 10. It's definitely helped us, and that's why we've strung together 3 wins in a row in the league. And in this game, it was okay, but at first we did struggle. And Palace were creating a few chances. So here's one example. This is Camvo stepping out from the back, who was really impressive, I thought, in this game. Coming into the middle, and you just see something we struggled with all season. Just too much space in the middle. No one really, shutting off the middle of the pitch or making it hard for Palace to play through. We've got the front 4 that we tend to press with, or at least attempt to press with. Wirtz maybe a little bit too wide here, maybe should have been more in the middle, but Gakpo, as he's sort of taken that role when maybe where Wirtz should be, maybe he should be the one getting in here and helping out in the midfield, but again, difficult to say as he is the left winger. The ball comes to Kamada. Isak's doing his job, he's pressing, Szoboszlai's doing his job, but we're just a little bit off the pace of Palace here, but a little bit not tight enough. You see Jones, he's now thinking, right, I'm going to push right out on Mitchell on the wing back. But he's late. He's never getting there in time. You know, he's a midfielder playing right back. I think he's playing really well, but he's never getting there in time. But he recognises that the pass is coming, so he's there to press, but he's too late. And that, as you can see, just opens up loads and loads of space for Brennan Johnson, which Mitchell can easily just pop this ball down the line and find Brennan Johnson. And you see this exposure that we've had early on has caused Palace to easily be able to just play through the lines of us. Nothing too difficult here. Brennan Johnson can then drive into the middle. Again, we're seeing our players being pulled apart. So Jones was pulled to the wing-back position, which meant Konate was now pulled out to right-back. Van Dijk's gone with Mateta. He's left centre-back. Robbo's trying to get narrow to cover in where Sarr is now taking up that space. And McAllister has to go with him, otherwise Sarr is in. But that means that if McAllister's gone with him, then you've got all of a sudden this corridor of space in the middle. Palace have just pulled us apart, and it's nothing too difficult that they've done. It's just us not quite being there in our press, not quite being organised enough or matched up enough with Palace. And it's something we have struggled with quite a lot. The shape of the team is okay, but not perfect. And another day we could have suffered here more. Let's move on to another example. This time it was just a long ball forward and Mateta won the flick on, something we take for granted with Van Dijk, is that he wins basically every header. He didn't win this one here, and they flick it on down the line, and Sarr is again able to break free down the wing, and we're pulled out of position. Konate is now forced to go across, but we don't react all that well from this point on. Sarr gets onto the ball, and our midfielders aren't able to get back. I mean, McAllister has no chance. He doesn't have the legs to do this type of running up and down, up and down. He doesn't have this ability anymore, which is a real shame and a worry. Szoboszlai does, but he's not back in time. Jones is covering a decent position. Sarr gets this ball across, and this is maybe a little bit too much space. I'd like maybe Jones to come maybe a little closer to Brennan Johnson. Can Szoboszlai get back more? Konate's in a tough spot because he's had to go over. Van Dijk's exposed. Just a little bit too much space, and we're lucky that Brennan Johnson just harmlessly clips this one over and doesn't cause us any problems. It doesn't phase us in the game. But a couple warning signs there from him and from Palace. We did then start to play, though. And what I liked about our play in this game was the fluidity of it. It did feel a little bit more fluid and a bit more freedom to our play, which was nice. Didn't feel so rigid and forced and stagnant like we've seen a lot this season, especially at Anfield, where we've really like monotonously passed the ball around. We just kept it quite basic, but in that there was some confidence, I think, that came from the boys. So you see the setup is very, very simple, and a simple one doesn't always have to be a bad one. I think in this case, it's done well for us. Fullbacks high and wide. Here's Robbo. And Curtis Jones is on the ball just below my head. I'll draw a circle around him there. Got the wingers, Salah and Gakpo. Salah's holding width. Gakpo's crashing the box when the ball goes out to the wing, and then he can get into the box. Isak's in the perfect spot for a number 9, as you would expect, in between the two centre-backs. He takes up that spot all the time, and then Vert's doing his job as a number 10, getting involved in the centre. The 2-8s holding perfectly. It's a good setup. It really is a good one. Jones keeps it really simple, which again I like from him. Plays the ball to Salah, gets around him on the overlap. You can't quite see because I'm in the way, but he's coming. Let me draw this on so you can see. He's coming around on the overlap this way as he plays the ball to Salah. And there's a bit of a miscommunication with Palace. Jones is able to get around, and all of a sudden, we're in this really dangerous situation where Jones is in the box now. He's got a cutback option. Can he find Szoboszlai maybe? Can he somehow get this ball through to Verts, maybe through the legs of Camvo there? It's difficult. There isn't maybe a lot of options from his angle of where he is on the pitch to find somebody. Isak's trying to make this run so then he can maybe find him here, but it's not easy. Ball breaks out to Salah, who's continued his run, and we end up getting a shot on goal on another day. This one goes in. It doesn't today, but a good sign, a good positive attack from us in this one. Salah definitely picking up his form. Did get a little injury in this game. Haven't heard much about that. But his form has helped us not look so boring going forward. And again, this is more fluidity that I want to show from us. Something we've really struggled with this season. I've pointed out in pretty much every single video is playing out from the back. We have really struggled. And here we just show how easy it can be at times. And we're not playing out from so deep here, so maybe it's a little bit easier. But Palace do put a little press on us. They have a three forward press with the two centre midfielders backing it up. But McAllister just does something here which is a foreign concept to us this season. He shows for the ball from a centre-back. Konate is going to get this. McAllister's brave. He runs towards the ball. He wants it played into his feet. Konate obliges. He has a little bit of time before Mateta gets to him. Kamada and Wharton are stuck on Verts and Szoboszlai, who are further forward. You can see Wharton. He's asking. He's sort of saying, you know, he's got his arms out. Where do I go? I'm not sure. He doesn't. He can't go in here and press McAllister. Neither can Kamada because they've got to look after these two. Quite clever positioning from us in this sense. You've got Jones now. He's running towards the ball as well. He's being brave. He's saying, I can have it. You know, I can take it off you. And Mitchell has to respect that. He has to come and press. And what does that open up? Well, because we've got the wide men in this game with Salah and Gakpo, we've now got options in the channels. As the fullback's pulled out of position, the wing-back, sorry, we can now slip this ball from McAllister over here into Salah's path down the channel, and he's now one-on-one with the centre-back. So he puts Camvo on his arse because he's dead strong. He's like a power cube, this little fella. Shout out to Xherdan Shaqiri. And then it's all about what can he do from here. So Isak, again, perfect position from him. He's able to show for the ball. Can he get it to Isak here for the shot? Well, he should. He doesn't. It gets blocked away. And, you know, the ball does ricochet back out to McAllister, who started this whole move with a nice bit of play. When he's on the ball, he's still quality McAllister. He's just off the ball, but his deficiencies really do tend to show these days. Well, he's going to hit this shot. What I like about this goal is it's quite a scruffy finish from Isak, but it's the instincts he shows. It's the instincts he shows, and you might say this is too simple or you'd expect him to do this, but I'm pointing it out anyway. Gets himself back on side. That's a key one. We've had the first phase with Salah, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's coming out. Isak makes sure he's onside. He's well onside, you know. McAllister's going to have this shot. He's back involved in the play, but he's switched on. McAllister fires this one. And this first touch, you can see by how blurry the screenshot is. This first touch from Isak is underrated, I think, in my opinion. It's on his weaker side. This is a shot, not a pass. It's going miles wide. He's able to react to the play, control the ball, and yes, it bounces up in the air, which is why he has the sort of bobbly shot into the corner. But to kill it in a place where he can then shoot on his next touch, to not allow Richards or Munoz to close him down and, you know, put him off so he can't shoot, I think it's really good. And dispatches it. First goal at Anfield in the Premier League. Took him over 200 days since we signed him. None of us saw that one coming, but there it is. Hopefully, many more to come from Isak. There was more in this first half though from Palace. We weren't quite finished with their attacks, and it's a really dangerous one here. It actually led to our second goal. Kamada, this is a breakout from a set piece. He's on the ball again, and we're a little bit, all over the shop trying to defend as we set up for the set piece, and the ball's broken out. Kamada's going to cross this one in, and they actually get a really, really good chance here. It's Mateta with the header, and Freddie Woodman, right said Fred, in the goal, makes a brilliant save. I mean, the outstretched arm, you can see it's a bit similar to Mamardashvili's save against Beto's header last week, or the week prior, sorry, at Everton. Great save, down to his left-hand side, palms it away, and that starts Liverpool's counter-attack for the second goal. And this is something we've also struggled with. Think of us under Klopp, a hallmark of our game was counter-attacking football. Not so much that we sit back and counter-attack, but when a team would dare to have an attack against us, or a corner, we could kill you from that corner, we could take advantage. And that's what we do here from their set piece, from their second phase of play. We make a good save, and we're away. We're absolutely flying away. So you've got Wirtz on the ball, and he's got Richards closing down, but he's trying to start the counter-attack, and he just does nothing crazy here. He just manipulates the ball out of his feet and plays it into the people running forward. It comes all the way to Curtis Jones, and now all of a sudden we've got a breakaway. We've got Salah and Robertson randomly breaking the way. Great run from Robbo to score this goal. Jones plays his part well. He carries the ball. These are the two full-backs in the game, but it doesn't really matter at this point. It's just a counter-attack. It's just, can we get bodies forward and can we make the right decisions, which we do. Jones, really good, drives away from any other Palace players into the middle of the pitch. He's opened up all the options for him. He can find Salah, he can find Robbo. He goes to Robbo, and none of us saw this coming. Andy Robbo scoring a really smart, tucked away finish into the far corner. That is beautiful stuff. Really, really is. Great for him. 2-0 up. Clinical counter-attack, and that's the type of stuff that we like to see from the Mighty Reds. Let's move on. So now into the second half. We did struggle again early on, and a few times in this second half we did struggle. It was by no means a perfect performance from Liverpool. A win doesn't necessarily always mean we played good. A loss doesn't always necessarily mean we played bad. This season, it has been typically when we play good, we do win, and typically when we play bad, we lose. That has been the general gist of things. But in this one, it was a bit up and down. Borna Sosa this time has come on for Palace. He's now playing left wing back. And Jones is able to win the ball off him. And I wanted to put this one in, another good example of a counter-attack. Jones nicks this ball, as he did all game long. Goes into Salah. Look at the confidence of the players now. One-touch stuff, the quality's there. Comes in Salah, he just kills it straight to Szoboszlai. He's got the press from Wharton, doesn't matter. Straight to Szoboszlai. Wharton continues his press. Szoboszlai left foot. What can you do? Clips the ball over to the left-hand side where you've got Gakpo into his path. Decent touch from Gakpo. He's away from Munoz now. And again, we're counter-attacking. Can he carry the ball forward? Yeah, breaks away from Munoz. Isak again, perfect position for the number 9. A focal point, someone to hit as we look forward. We have struggled with this season. Someone to look up to and find. He's making the perfect run. This is just instinctive stuff from him. Gakpo plays the ball into his path. Unfortunately, Camvo is able to get around and sort of, block him out and make the tackle. Maybe with a fitter Isak, maybe with an Isak who has more games under his belt, a little bit more confidence, he's able to shrug Camvo off, get his body away and score his second of the game. Maybe not, I don't know. It doesn't quite happen here. He sort of ends up getting pushed around a little bit and he sort of bobbles it off his foot out for a goal kick, but it's unlucky. Good play from us in general. Nearly another counter-attack that comes to a goal. But Palace were able to continue their attacking play in the game. And this is actually where they get back into the game. So, again, we're seeing the same problems we saw, as I highlighted earlier on. Too much space in the middle of the pitch. Just getting a bit too deep here. I think the number 8s are too deep for us. McAllister and Szoboszlai. Somebody has to engage the ball. Not sure Szoboszlai's position, really, what he's doing here. The defence is quite narrow. You see, that's the whole back four. Maybe he's thinking, Borna Sosa's coming up. Frimpong's sort of pointing at him, telling him, come on. He's coming in down this left-hand side. I don't know. I personally think we need to engage here a bit quicker. Because we still don't engage as Pino drives towards the box. And we're not in a bad position here. really, but we're just getting a little bit stuck between dropping off and engaging, and we don't do either. And I think Pino is playing this ball into Strand Larsen. I don't think for 1 second he's trying to do what happens, knock this ball in behind for Ismaila Sarr to run onto, because Van Dijk usually would cut this one out. I think he's trying to knock it into Strand Larsen. He doesn't. Van Dijk switches off. The ball goes through to Ismaila Sarr, and he hits the shot, which Woodman makes another brilliant save at. Spreads himself, really nice and wide. This is like Schmeichel coming out, obviously, as they always say. Makes a great save. Obviously gets injured in the process. You can see he's down. He's injured. But Liverpool, we have ourselves to blame, really, here. Yes, Palace should maybe put the ball out. Yes, they should stop. But nobody is maybe, definitely, nobody is making them. They don't have to. And that's why they score this goal. Munoz takes advantage, chips the ball into the goal. And the Liverpool players really do enough to stop it. We kind of switch off. It's a little bit of a lapse in concentration, maybe expecting something that doesn't necessarily have to be given to us. And Palace score and go 2-1 down rather than 2-0, and they gained a bit of confidence, and that continued. And we get lucky here. Borna Sosa again flying forward. Again, a little bit exposed. Nobody in the middle. Just not sure why. Whether this is legs or setup or personnel, I really don't know. But there's certainly a problem with us giving up too much space and being too easy to get at. It's happened from the first game of the season when Semenyo against us for Bournemouth drove all the way down the middle of the pitch to the edge of the box and scored. Something we've struggled with a lot. The ball comes into Pino, and he this time can have a shot. Nothing comes of this really, but again, on another day, this one might fly in the top corner. Something like that, you don't know. You've got Munoz coming forward, as I pointed out in the preview. He's always flying into the box. If Pino sees him, maybe you could find him here. As Strand Larsen takes Robbo away. It's a difficult one to defend. Let's move on again. More Palace pressure. Wharton this time robs Szoboszlai in the middle of the pitch. But Wharton had a great game in this one, to be honest. Nicks the ball off Szoboszlai. And you see, immediately we are exposed. We've got Gravenberch on at this point. McAllister's gone further forward. We've kind of gone to a more defensive setup in that we've got Frimpong at right wing. We've got sort of no striker. We've played 2 10s with Wirtz and McAllister. And as Wharton wins this ball, we're still finding ourselves exposed. They've got runners. Wharton waits for the perfect time as we kind of drop off. Strand Larsen is making that run in behind, and Wharton is able to time the pass perfectly in behind as we don't get... we don't do anything really to stop the run. I think Strand Larsen was offside. I can't quite remember if he actually got called offside or not. He hits this one. It comes off the post and trickles along the goal line before Van Dijk puts it out for a corner. Again, very lucky. And I just want to point this out that yes, we won, but still something is not quite right with us in the middle. Something is not quite there. And this is another example of it. As Palace play out from the back, this is just simply too easy. I mean, you've got Lacroix playing out from the back. It's coming into the middle. Well, we've got, a decent setup here. We've got the front three. We've got McAllister and Gravenberch pressing on. But look how easily this ball finds its way into Ismaila Sarr. This is too much room. This cannot happen. From one pass from the defence into the middle, bypassing 5 Liverpool players. It can't happen. And all of a sudden, they've broken through 2 lines. They're running directly at our defence. And they almost get another goal from it. Sarr's going to play the ball out wide. We're all of a sudden exposed again. Szoboszlai's too deep. I don't know why he's too deep. It's all this sort of spare man at the back thing that Carragher goes on about with us. Why do we need Szoboszlai back here? I don't know. He should be further forward. He should be on to Sarr so he can't receive that ball off the centre-backs. The ball comes out wide. It goes to Pino, who's here. He's going to cross this one across the box. We get very lucky that Sarr doesn't get it, or Strand Larsen. And Kirkes takes a massive risk. He has no idea Munoz is behind him. He's spinning around. You can see Van Dijk saying, clear the ball, Milos, you mad lad. He eventually does manage to get a tackle on it and we get it away, but very lucky not to concede the last minute equaliser there, as we have done this season many times. Last minute goals, both for and against us. And in this one, we did score one again. Wasn't a winner, but it was a last minute goal to seal the deal. It's a long throw. And it's interesting the way we set up here in this one. If you look at this, we go along from the throw in, but it wasn't designed, I think, to go long. We've actually brought 3 players towards the ball because this is the last minute of the game. We're trying to kill time, but Gomez finds McAllister in the long throw. McAllister pins Wharton beautifully, and it's almost designed to do that, to find McAllister and then have one of these three run off into the box. Because you see, as McAllister gets it, Wirtz has made that run into the middle. McAllister drops it off to him, and Wirtz, with the killing shot, swipes across the ball beautifully into that far corner to kill the game, to get his 5th of the season in the league. And that was a beautiful way to end it. 3-1, we could all relax for the final minute or so. Nice way to finish off the game. Alright guys, that is going to do it for today's video. Not too much to dive into from a tactical point of view from that one. Just happy to get the win, and not always does there have to be some sort of tactical masterclass going on in a game that we win in the league. It was nice to just win one from a more simple point of view. I think we can all agree on that. I'll be back tomorrow for the preview for a big one this weekend against the Manx. Everyone should be raring to go for that one. A massive chance for us to go, right there with them to compete for that 3rd spot all of a sudden. Who saw that one coming? If you did enjoy today's video, please do leave a like on it. We're trying to get to 35 on all the videos. And if you are new to the channel, please do click subscribe as we try and push for 500 subscribers. I hope you did enjoy. I'll see you in the preview tomorrow, Friday, of course. Thanks for watching, everybody. Goodbye.